Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an excellent show for you guys here today. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video, sub to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. Let's get into today's show. So, as you guys know, Rich Paul has been making a lot of waves, right? He's been making a lot of waves with some of the things that he's been saying, suggesting that Austin Reeves should be traded, talking about the Lakers franchise. We reported on this when we've done lives about him being confronted by Austin Reeves' agent. We've also done lives talking about the Lakers front office not being happy with the things that Rich Paul has been saying on his podcast. We've done this already, right? And usually what happens is in media is that these guys have a lot of defenders that refuse to give you a sincere take. But one person, and I gotta be honest with you, really surprised me when he called out Rich Paul for being unprofessional. And that person, believe it or not, is Shannon Sharpe, right? Shannon Sharpe, I came across a video, and we were not going to even shoot this. I was just getting ready to shoot the other videos we had. And I saw the thumbnail where he says, "You're talking too much. Unc and ISO call out Rich Paul for unprofessional Austin Reeves trade talks." I was stunned by this because Shannon Sharpe is a huge LeBron James advocate, and he seems like one of those people that always defend something that LeBron does or that comes from his camp or something like this. So I was very surprised. You know why? Because usually he defends LeBron, but in this case, I think Shannon said what's obvious. The obvious thing is to say what Shannon Sharpe is saying. That's the obvious thing. It's obviously unprofessional. Obviously, right? Normal people would characterize it as such. Others will try to dance around it and twerk it up and pour honey all over each other's ankles and do that kind of dance. But we want to focus on what Shannon Sharpe had to say because I believe he said a lot of truth here. But before we even get into Shannon's comments, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. PrizePicks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week I'm really looking forward to some of these upcoming games. This week I'm picking Stephen Curry for more than 29 points. I'm picking Kevin Durant for more than 27 points. I'm picking Giannis Antetokounmpo for more than 12 rebounds. And I'm picking Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love PrizePicks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so what we want to do is want to play what Shannon had to say here about Rich Paul. I want you guys to take a listen to it. And then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Shannon Sharpe here.
This is right up your alley right here, Joe. Rich Paul suggested the Lakers should trade Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson Jr. Is Jaren Jackson Jr. Rich Paul client? Caused significant ripples, but in fact, the tensions reached the sidelines on Tuesday night when AR's agent, Reggie Berry, confronted Paul. One of Austin Reeves' agents reportedly confronted Rich Paul at the Lakers game, per Dave McMenamin. One of Reeves' agents, Reggie Berry of AMR Agency, approached Paul on the sideline near half court at halftime of the Lakers-Hawks game Tuesday night. The two people spoke for about 5 minutes or so, and the topics of conversation was Paul's public trade scenario regarding Reeves. Rich Paul has a podcast. Rich Paul, and look, I like Rich, but Rich Paul is talking like he's not an agent. Right. He's talking like you and I. This is something we might have should have suggested. But for an agent that has one of the biggest names on and you know, he's talking about Jalen Johnson, who's one of his clients. He's talking about this and that. But what were your thoughts when you heard that a current agent getting on his podcast and playing out scenarios for teams in which one of his players is on said team. You're going to get yourself in trouble, because if you talk long enough, Joe, you're going to say something that you probably shouldn't have said.
Right.
Now, Rich knows better. He knows, just like what he said about LeBron and things of that nature, you have to be careful in a situation like that. And I'm glad LeBron came out and said what he said, because I don't think but people will automatically try to tie it to LeBron.
Yeah.
Because that's LeBron's agent. LeBron says, well, y'all know how I feel about AR.
Yeah.
And I think LeBron does hold him in very high regard. But I just thought in this situation right here, if you want to have a podcast, have a podcast. But when you're talking about, I just looked at this, I don't know how professional this is. I would have a problem with that.
From an agent standpoint?
Yes, I would have a problem about that, about you talking about somebody else's client. Obviously, AR is repped by AMR. Jaren Jackson Jr., Triple J, is repped by CAA.
Yeah.
I'm just like, so what's the play?
He looking out. I guess he called himself looking out for the Lakers.
Excellent. So you heard what Shannon had to say. What are my thoughts about this? Look, guys, it's obvious. It's obvious this is unprofessional. Obviously. Like, and the part that kills me is like, so wait, you have a podcast, so you're no longer an agent? Of course you're an agent. And you're representing LeBron James that plays on the team. It's not like as if LeBron is even playing on another team. He plays on that same team. And then you're talking about trade recommendations for another player that you don't represent. That's crazy to me. And then try to just wash it off as, oh, well, it's just a podcast. No, bro. No, you don't do that. Why are you discussing another man's business in terms of their financial business, knowing damn well this guy's in a contract here and you're giving suggestions of how his year should go about, what they should do? It's not your position to say that. And if you're having a podcast, you ought to know to yourself, wait a minute, this is off limits here, man. Like, I don't need to say this. This is inappropriate. But they just still went on and did it. That is unprofessional. Shannon Sharpe is 100% to characterize it as such. It is unprofessional behavior to do that. The only person that I heard defend this, really, and there are a few, I've heard a few people. Lou Williams? I can't remember his name. Lou Williams defended it, and Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings, I don't even understand what Brandon Jennings be talking about half the time, bro. Brandon Jennings' points be like, I got to keep it a bean with y'all. Brandon Jennings' points, like his reasoning on these issues sound like something a fourth grader would be saying. I'm dead serious, or a fifth grader. Like it's fifth grade level reasoning that he be coming up with. For you, I mean, if everybody has the opportunity to say their part, everybody, no one is saying that Rich Paul shouldn't speak and have a podcast. No one is saying that. But the things that you say, you got to understand you can't say everything. No one is saying Rich Paul should not be allowed to speak. No one is saying that. No one has said, Rich, you shouldn't have a podcast. No one has said that. People have questioned why you have one, but no one has said you shouldn't talk. I certainly have never said that. I've been saying the thing, and as a matter of fact, initially when it came out, I thought, oh, this was going to be good because Max was pushing back on some of it. I said that. But this is unprofessional, and you're causing chaos within the locker room of the team. Now you have your biggest client in LeBron James essentially distancing himself from your comments. Talking about AR knows how I feel about him. Well, LeBron shouldn't even be in a position to have to say these things had you not been out there running your mouth about affairs that don't concern you and then chalking it up to, oh, well, it's just a podcast. Max Kellerman can go out there and say, oh, I think the Lakers should trade Luka Doncic. Fine. Right? Fine. Max Kellerman is not an agent. He's just a sports commentator, a sports personality, giving his thoughts on the issue. Fine. Fantastic. No one is going to stop Max from doing it. Even if you disagree with his viewpoints, fine. There is no conflict of interest there. But in your case, you're an agent. Number one. And number two, and I'm surprised no one has brought this up, this is tampering. This looks a lot like tampering to me, but no one is going to say anything. No one is going to say a bloody thing, right? All these NBA players just look at it and see it and, derp, I didn't see it. Oh, I didn't see it. Did you see it? We ain't see it. I ain't see it. Oh, I guess we ain't see it. Let me just go the other way and look the other way. Bro, like, Why y'all? What? I don't know, man. You would think that when you have money, you will have liberation, man. You feel free. You have the confidence to say what you want. But it seems like when it's just in you, it's just in you, man. When you ain't got the capacity to keep it a bean at all, and like it's just a problem. It's a problem to me because we don't need to hear that weak stuff. We don't need to hear that. We don't need to hear it, bro. If you're not gonna go all the way with it, like, then don't say nothing at all. Don't nobody want to hear this watered down mumbo jumbo y'all be throwing on the table, bro. Don't nobody want to. Y'all could have kept that. Y'all could have kept that to yourself, bro. Don't nobody want to hear this no more, man. Like after a while, it gets you're not running the game on people like, yo, I played in the NBA. So nah, dog, hey, we done with that. We in content. We not playing basketball right now. We're talking content. You're in the news business. You're meant to give your honest opinion on things, not come up here and pull rank. Oh, I played in the NBA, son. You ain't playing the NBA. So whatever I say, go. Nah. If you saying some BS, we gonna call you out on it. Forget about that, bro. Like, nah, y'all trying to, they be trying to run game on their viewers. And they be trying to sun their viewers. Nah, man, I played in the NBA. You don't know what you're talking about. Go sit down over there, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. If I say this and I say that, it is what it is. They trying to beat y'all in the head with their nonsense. That's exactly what they're doing. You see something, it's obvious. Instead of calling it out, y'all be trying to turn into Socrates and Nostradamus on it. Like, yo, don't nobody want to hear this whack that y'all be saying. Like, keep it a bean. If you're not gonna keep it a bean, then just move on. Turn off the camera, disconnect the mic, and be like, yo, I'm not ready to keep it a bean when it comes to talking basketball. Just turn off the mic, bro. You ain't got to do this. I'm sure there's another way to make some money. And most of y'all be going at Charles Barkley. At least no one is wondering, what does he think? At least. Don't no NBA player that got a pop, except with the exception of a very few, is willing to keep it a bean all the way to the point where another player be like, yo, I'm not rocking with him no more, bro. I'm not rocking with him no more. They do that all the time for Charles Barkley. The rest of this is just a bunch of nonsense. I'm just keeping it honest with you. We be looking at the obvious answer and dudes be dancing around it. Bro. Like, it's annoying. Then you got to leave it to independent guys to come say what y'all should have said. Unreal, bro. Unreal. I done told y'all this NBA media stuff ain't about shit. I've been in this game for 6-7 years and I'm understanding it ain't about shit. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.